Alright, buckle up, everyone. Smiling Friends, Season 3, Episode 4, just dropped, and let me tell you, this has got to be one of the wildest, creepiest, and most off-the-wall Halloween episodes the series has ever given us. If you thought previous episodes were weird, Episode 4 just dialed it up with curses, possessions, chaotic energy, and all the classic Smiling Friends nonsense we love. So let's relive every insane moment, peel apart what just happened inside the Smiling Friends office, and break down that trippy ending. Be sure to stay with me, because there are some wild twists that you definitely don't want to miss. The episode kicks off in the Smiling Friends office, with the whole gang lounging around after watching what we can only assume is some kind of bizarre, mind-bending movie. They're all hyped, like really hyped. Charlie is basically losing his mind, saying he's just seen the greatest thing ever. Alan and Pim are trying to figure out how such a movie could even be made. Like, is it claymation? Is it stop motion? Nobody knows. But everyone's asking logistical questions that only make the movie seem even stranger. Before the team can settle in, Mr. Boss starts acting kind of off. He admits he smoked a bit earlier and apologizes. Classic Mr. Dumb. Boss awkwardness. The mood turns to ordering food. Charlie pitches pizza, and suddenly his idea is treated like he's cracked the code to happiness. Everyone wants his pizza idea. The group jokes around, but there's just enough weirdness in the air that you start to sense something's coming. Suddenly, the vibe shifts. A mysterious old woman appears at the door, begging for a dime. Pim is about to help, but the rest of the group brushes her off. Mr. Boss steps in to tell her she's leaving, and she leaves cursing them, shouting, "I damn you," over and over. It's so sudden and unsettling that everyone's a bit freaked, but soon they're distracted again by food talk, almost trying to laugh off what's just happened. But you know the Smiling Friends universe. Stuff gets weird, fast. The lights flicker, and the breaker blows, plunging everyone into darkness. Mr. Boss ropes Pim into helping him find the fuse box, calling him his flashlight bitch, which is both hilarious and a little bit mean. In the dark, chaos starts to grow. Glep is acting strange, and suddenly, he's full-on possessed, spitting goo, making weird noises, and needing to be tied down. The crew scrambles. Alan even mentions his uncle taught him what to do, invoking the classic, "Power of Christ compels you." At this point, the energy in the office is totally derailed. Mr. Year. Boss gets zapped by the breaker while trying to fix it. He's dazed, and then, in true Smiling Friends style, is hit with a literal vision of his mom, a twisted ghost haunting him, blaming him for abandoning her and pawning her things for a gaming PC. We get a mini therapy session as Mr. Boss apologizes for putting her in a home and forgetting her. It's both hilarious and freaky, with him yelling, "Mommy," over and over. This scene pushes the supernatural, haunted house vibe to the max as the curse kicks in. Meanwhile, back in the main room, Pim starts getting blamed for everything. The group, and his own inner demons, start heckling him with lines like, "This is all your fault, Pim." There are ghostly voices bombarding him, and he's made to feel completely ignored and taken for granted. This moment is actually pretty intense for Pym fans, showing just how underappreciated he is by the crew. Pym is haunted and harassed until he finally snaps, shouting at the voices to shut up, and even confronting a spirit inside an orb. The pressure's on, and Pym has to fight his own insecurities and the curse head on, which is pretty deep for Smiling Friends. Meanwhile, Alan's true nature is revealed. He's actually a spider. He insists he's always been that way. The scene is so absurd and random, it barely registers with the group. Glep, still not himself, causes even more chaos, with goo flying everywhere. The cursed energy just keeps growing. Back in the shadow realm of the orb, Pym is forced to actually kill some ghostly, cursed version of Charlie. The moment is super meta and weird, but it's also Pym finally standing up for himself. Even if, as Charlie admits, it all happened inside the orb. The curse breaks, the visions fade, and the group is suddenly back to normal, though there's a lingering sense that maybe, just maybe, the supernatural business isn't completely gone. Just when things seem to settle, they finally get their pizza delivery, and Pym is acknowledged for his feelings. There's a moment where Charlie realizes he might take Pym for granted, offering an olive branch and appreciating him. The group is happy. The normal weirdness resumes. But, because this is Smiling Friends, it can't possibly end on a low key note. A random skeleton appears, gets caught, and the gang isn't sure if this is supposed to be funny or not. They squabble about who the skeleton is and why it was there, as if the episode wants to poke fun at itself for being so committed to chaos. Suddenly another burst of chaos sends everyone running for safety. There's shouting, confusion, Charlie and the rest comfort each other while trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Then, a totally left field, awkward moment happens. Someone asks if it's still okay to suck it tonight, referencing something that clearly happened off-screen. It's brushed off in classic Smiling Friends fashion, with the character realizing it's too much after everything they've been through. The episode closes with a touch of heart, a reaffirmation of love, proving they're all back to their weirdly wholesome normal, even after surviving a Halloween curse. So, what does it all mean? Smiling Friends, Season 3, Episode 4, uses the Halloween witch curse to crank up the chaos, pit the characters against their own worst anxieties, and spotlight Pym as the emotional heart of the group. The curse is basically a way to show how ignored and undervalued Pym feels, and how haunted Mr. Boss is by bad decisions. The supernatural twist lets the show go full nightmare mode while keeping the comedy sharp and fresh. The episode is a wild ride through insecurities, unresolved issues, and the maddening side of team dynamics. By the end, the curse is gone, but the lesson sticks. It's good to appreciate the sweet, weirdly supportive friendships at the core, even if those friends are cursed, goo, spraying, or secretly spiders. All in all, this episode hits every note you want from Smiling Friends. Bonkers, supernatural shenanigans, hilarious power outages, ridiculous food debates, and that classic heart at the center of the absurdity. If you missed any of the chaos, now's your chance to catch it all in one wild recap. And if you loved watching smiling friends go full haunted house, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Cool. Tell me your favorite curse moment or which character you'd want on your Halloween squad. Don't forget to share this video if you know a fellow Smiling Friends fan, and subscribe for more episode breakdowns, recaps, and all things animation. Thanks for hanging out with me.